Hey guys, Buffin Game Bad today, bringing you our video, and today we are covering leaked weapons primarily, as well as some other leaked little pieces of information that were found in the Xbox version of the open beta here for week 2, which was able to be downloaded early yesterday for Xbox and PC players. Some Xbox players were somehow able to get around the menu system and get into private matches. Not sure how that happened, if it was a bug with that version of the beta, because it was not something that happened with the PlayStation version. However, the Xbox players were able to get around some of the menu, get into private matches. They were able to see additional weapons that we've seen most of these as far as in trailers, and we've theorized a lot of these. But footage was leaked all over the internet of a lot of these weapons. We're still missing some weapons that we have seen in trailers that aren't here in the gameplay that was at least found. So I'm assuming the beta files themselves are obviously not complete. There was a lot of things leaked, so we're going to go into those today. If you guys are interested in weapons, Call of Duty, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of weapon conversions coming up here once the game releases, as well as anything you need to know regarding weapons, how the gunsmith works, etc. And we'll have a lot of weapon conversions on October 28th, as well as single-player coverage on October 20th. So jumping right into it, what are the weapons that we found out yesterday that are in the game? So first off, I will link down below some of my previous weapon videos regarding Modern Warfare 2. That way, if you guys are interested, went through a whole lot of in-depth information regarding Gunsmith 2.0 here in the early week 1 of the beta, as well as every confirmed weapon and probable conversions based on my knowledge of how the system is going to be working and platforms, etc. So it looks like based on the beta, everything was right, and especially based on this footage, everything I said and thought was correct. So we're still missing some, like I said, but let's go ahead and we will get into it. So first off, weapons that were leaked that we know of most of these, but again, they are not part of the beta. A lot of these weapons at base are locked, so you can unlock them, but you can't level them up. You can't access the gunsmith because they don't want you seeing what you can make out of these weapons. So first off, the AK-105. This footage made its way into the onto the Reddit sphere, Twitter sphere yesterday. So the AK-105, this is obviously, just like I said, is going to be a platform conversion or a receiver conversion from the, or not even a receiver conversion, it'll just be probably a barrel option from the AKS-74U or the Kastov 545 or whatever it is here in Modern Warfare 2. The AKS-74U will have a conversion, turn it into the AK-105, which is a shorter barrel version of the AK-74M, a part of the 100 series. So I believe the barrel length is going to be around 12.5 or 12.4 inches on the AK-105. And again, that's going to be firing 545 by 45 millimeters, same as the AKS-74U. So that's going to be a bit longer of a barrel. Great to see that one coming back. Really excited for that. We also have the PP19 Vitsiez. So the Vitsiez is going to be firing 9x19 Parabellum. This is probably going to be a receiver conversion from the AKS-74U into a submachine gun firing 9x19 Parabellum. So that'll be a receiver conversion of the AKS-74U. And it also looks like there's going to be an additional receiver conversion there to turn that weapon into the PP19 Bison. Could potentially just be a placeholder, but I don't know why they would have a weapon fully functional in-game as a placeholder. So PP19 Bison also making a return here, probably as some sort of attachment or conversion out of the Vitsiez. So we'll be seeing that as well return to the game. We also have the MP7. So the MP7 basically looks to be the same model as Modern Warfare 2019 with some minor updates with the MP7A2. Looks really nice and clean. Really good rate of fire, and you can tell that when you get your hands on this at the final game releases, the sound of the weapons are just night and day from 2019, and you can tell here with the MP7 specifically. Next up, we have the 725 shotgun making a return, that double barrel shotgun making a return. Now, we did see this, spotted this in some recent trailers and behind-the-scenes footage that was released, so we obviously knew as of recent that this was coming back. So the 725 shotgun, again, making a return here. Next up, we also had the Barrett MRAD confirmed. Now, again, we saw this in, I believe it was the Early Access campaign trailers. So the MRAD is confirmed. This will be coming to the game. The Barrett MRAD is going to be a sniper rifle firing multiple different calibers. Not a 50 caliber, though. So this is not our 50 caliber M82 or M107 or anything like that. However, this is a sniper rifle, taking a bunch of different calibers. I think of like 338 Lapua, Norma, Magnum, everything. So it should have a variety of different attachments as far as calibers go, barrels, etc. We'll just have to see what the have to wait and see what the caliber is at the base for this and what we can do with it. So the Bear MRAD making a return here. Next up, we have the Desert Eagle. So the Desert Eagle, this is one I think we probably all knew was coming to the game. It's been in every single Modern Warfare game, I believe, to date. So the Desert Eagle making a return here in the pistol category. Updated model, too, it looks. So it looks like it's going to be a new and improved version of the Desert Eagle. Looks really clean, and we'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited to see what the attachments are for this with the very diverse attachment system for Modern Warfare 2. Next up, we have the AK-103. So this is definitely going to be a receiver change on the AKS-74U again. So this is gonna the AK itself is gonna have a lot of different platforms. So the AK-103 will be a receiver change, and this will convert the weapon to take 7.62 by 39 millimeter from the base 545 by 39 AKS-74U. So we'll have the receiver change to bring it up to that 7.62 by 39 millimeter Russian round, and we'll have a barrel at base on that, probably just like we see with something like the FTAC Recon for the M4. So you'll have a longer barrel on there, probably around 16 inches at base. And again, this is an AK-103, so part of 100 series. You have a 90-degree gas block. You do not. It's a stamp receiver. You don't have a rib dust cover or anything like that. And it looks like there's going to be a couple different attachment options for this to give you a Picatinny rail dust cover, which is really good. So the AK-103 making a return here. We also see, speaking of AK family, it looks like the RPD is coming back, or potentially it is the AK or the RPK-74. So the RPD or the RPK-74, I'm not really sure what they're going with this because the model is very weird. So RPK, RPD is belt fed. The RPK is going to be taking 7.62 by 39 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. This one is magazine fed with what looks to be a 100-round drum. However, some things are a little weird with this, so I really can't tell specifically what weapon it is until we get in game. It does have a carrying handle, longer barrel with the bipod, so definitely one of the light machine gun variations of the AK platform that, again, will probably be a receiver change to turn it into an LMG. So the AK is going to be a very diverse platform here. We're going to have multiple versions of the assault rifle category, at least 3 versions of the assault rifle category at minimum. We're going to have at least 2 SMGs, and we're going to have probably 1 or 2 LMGs out of that. So the AK platform is going to be producing a lot of different weapons. Next up, the TAC-56 or the SCAR Light will be able to have a receiver change into the SCAR Heavy. At base, this is going to have a 30-round magazine, or excuse me, a 20-round magazine, just like it did in Modern Warfare 2019. Now, I did get a list of different attachments for this weapon as far as what the attachments are going to be. Now, it's hard to distinguish whether or not a lot of these are specifically for the SCAR Heavy or if they're for the SCAR Light and they're just shared attachments, but it does look like we will be getting a drum mag for the SCAR, whether that's in the 7.62 by 51 millimeter caliber for the SCAR Heavy, or whether it's in the 5.56 by 45 for the SCAR Light. I don't really know yet. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm assuming hopefully it's that 50-round FN drum mag for the, I believe it's for the FAL, I want to say, the DSA-58. Regardless, FN does create drum mags for a variety of different weapons in 7.62 by 51, so it does, in fact, fit in the SCAR Heavy. So that potentially could be what we're seeing here, but the SCAR Heavy will be a receiver change from the SCAR Light to fire that 7.62 by 51 millimeter. That's the one I'm looking forward to. The SCAR Heavy and I think the AK-105 are the two I'm looking forward to the most out of this list. Really excited for that. Next up, we have an RPG-7. We've seen this. We know, obviously, this is going to be coming. Not a big deal there. Next, we have what's called the Bryson 800. This appears to be the Remington 870. So, again, we've seen this in some footage in the trailer, game campaign footage, things like that. So, the Remington 870 appears to obviously be making another return here. Next up, we have the RAL LMG, or the RAL machine gun. This is the new 6 Sauer 338 machine gun. The RAL LMG from Modern Warfare 2019 made its appearance late in that game's life cycle after support was already cut. It made its way, I believe, in the early seasons of Cold War. But this appears to be the exact same weapon. Now, this will probably have a caliber conversion to turn it into the M250, which is going to fire that 6.8 by 51 millimeter next generation squad weapon caliber that was developed for the M5 or the Sig Spear. So we'll probably have the 338 version as well as the 6.8 version of this weapon for two different LMGs. And I believe that's pretty much the extent of the leaked weapons that were leaked here. Again, everything was really taken offline pretty quickly, so we don't have anything to really reference. You can probably still find a lot of it on Reddit. There is another weapon, the AX-50, making a return. However, we've only seen that in Warzone Mobile. I don't believe we've seen footage of it in Modern Warfare 2 quite yet. So that's one thing to keep your eye out for, as another sniper rifle, the AX-50 or the AW-50, making another return here to the game at some point. We just don't have the footage of it in-game right now. Now, I did also see things like akimbo pistols making a return for a variety of different pistols. Not really sure which ones they were. Akimbo pistols probably for the Glock 18s, I'm assuming, will be making a return, as well as akimbo FNGs potentially. I'm not really sure what these are going to be. The X13's akimbo with the chassis system most likely is what they are. So there is going to be akimbo attachments in the game for these, which is actually not as bad as it sounds, I feel, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Pistols, anything outside of very, very close range, really don't do the damage you would expect that you would see in Modern Warfare 2019, so not too worried about that. Now, people in the Xbox menus did get into, like I said, the settings and the menus of these private games, and they were able to play around with things. So a couple things to note here is it looked like buy stations are able to be enabled in private games for different game modes. So whether it's like regular TDM or something like that, I'm not sure which ones, but buy stations are able to be enabled in these private games, and you can buy armor plates and things like that. So that's one thing. There's also a variety of different game modes that are in there. And one thing I saw that really caught my eye is called a Tier 1 mode. So this is going to be basically a limited HUD, basically like the realism mode with friendly fire on. I don't really remember if friendly fire was on in realism for Modern Warfare 2019, but Tier 1 mode sounds like it's going to be exactly realism with friendly fire on. This is going to be, I believe, more of like a Sandstorm take on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 modes. So if you've ever played Insurgency Sandstorm or any type of hardcore shooter, it's basically going to be like that. Limited HUD and friendly fire will be enabled. So that'll actually be really fun. I can't wait to do that with community games. Tier 1 mode. Obviously, I think we know night maps are going to be returning because we have seen a lot of the nods leaked in menus and images, things like that. So we know that's coming. So that'll be a good thing as well to go into that mode. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk about was the bandaging system. So there was bandages leaked. I'm not sure how they got into this in the menus, but it did show gameplay of an operator in-game applying bandages to their wrists. So very similar if you've ever played Escape from Tarkov or any of those hardcore survival games like that. When you heal, you're applying bandages to your wrist. So that's basically what he was doing, is applying like a gauze wrap to his wrist or arm. And that's what the operator did. Now, apparently this is something that was also in the game files from Modern Warfare 2019 at some point. Someone found in Warzone via a glitch, but this is really the first I'm seeing it, and obviously that it's still here in Modern Warfare 2, and it was able to, the users were able to get into it in the Xbox early beta access in a private game. Says that it's probably going to be a mechanic for DMZ or something like that, because we do know the backpack system is going to. I'll be getting more into Warzone 2 and DMZ in future videos here after week 2 of the beta, but bandaging system sounds really good, and again, that goes with Warzone 2. We know that you need to go to bathrooms and things like that in different buildings to find health stations with his health kits on the walls to get health, meds, bandages, etc. So applying bandages is, again, very Escape from Tarkov-like, and I'm really excited for that. So that should be really, really interesting to see, and I'm curious to see if they implement that into Warzone 2, or is it maybe just DMZ? I'm assuming probably just DMZ because we didn't see it in the Warzone 2 gameplay from the creators at COD Next, but never know. There's a lot of limited stuff in those versions as well as everything we see here in the beta. So that should be everything. Again, a lot of stuff was deleted, so it's hard to find everything out there still right now unless people downloaded it. But I believe that's at least the key points I wanted to hit in this video as far as what was leaked via the menus. There is some a screenshot of in the menu for private matches. There's a in the private match you have things like standard modes, alternate modes, Call of Duty League, my modes, and then you also have game modes like CDL Domination, CDL Search and Destroy, CDL Hardpoint. And the art for Domination, the operator does have a Kilo 141 with that 100-round C-Mag drum equipped. So potentially meaning that the Kilo 141 will be back into the game for Modern Warfare 2. Again, it's just in-game art used in the menu system. So I haven't seen the Kilo in the menus at all yet, but that's definitely a Kilo 141, the exact one we saw in Modern Warfare 2019. Have to see if it's just art or if it's actually going to be in the game. We did see a lot of examples of art in the game for Modern Warfare 2019, and those weapons that were shown in the art were never in the game. Things like the Desert Tech MDR, things like that. So we'll have to wait and see. Potentially the Kilo 141 or the HK433 make it a return. But those are all the weapons that were leaked here in the early access beta for Xbox, the guys that were able to get into the menus and see that. Now, obviously, there's a lot of weapons that we know of that were not in this build of the beta. So that would explain why they were not found in the menu systems when in these private matches. Things like the M13 or the 6 Sauer MCX Virtus, the AUG. There's a lot of different weapons that we've covered here on the channel that were not in this version, that at least didn't get leaked yesterday. So I'm assuming, obviously, those files were just not present in the version of the beta that's been put out for early access weekend. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if I missed anything. What are you most excited for the release of Modern Warfare 2? Have you jumped to the beta? Are you going to be playing it this weekend? Let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time, this is Buffner Gaming, out.